The gun guys joining us this morning: Forrest Anderson from Washington Street Pawn, Todd Eccles from Patriot Defense, and Bill Colley handling any calls that come in. Also messages via the app this morning. And we are looking like we're going to set another record for app downloads as we head toward the end of October. I saw the figure the other day in a meeting, and so it amazes me. Sooner or later, you figured we're going to run out of people who can download apps, but maybe it's because all the new people moving here are downloading it.
Possibly.
I think people are finding the ease of using it. You know,
Yeah.
they can put it on their earbuds and listen to it at work or in the car or whatever.
Secretly in the earbuds.
Yeah.
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 Wait, nobody has to identify you as a Trump voter that way.
There you go.
Hey, we wanted to point out that number, if you do want to reach the gun guys today, is 208-736-0300. It's 30. We're at 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. So this is not going to have a lot of impact locally, but I have been to some of the Walmart stores around the country where they do sell a lot of firearms. And I remember walking into, actually not too far away from where Joe Biden lives, in Camden, Delaware, one time, into a great big Walmart, and was just stunned by the number of, especially long guns, that were for sale. But Walmart is now saying, because of their fears about post-election stuff, about half the stores have guns. They're going to pull them all for a time because, well, what happened in Philadelphia, right? People went in and they looted the Walmart. And so they say they're going to take them out of the stores, and that way people can't get their hands on them if they break in.
Well, it just goes to show you, you know, you look at this and how many times we told people, if you put your, you know, if you spend your money with these big corporate giants, you know, and you trust them with your Second Amendment rights, well, when they get a little pressure one way or the other, they decide to fold up shop, or they're not going to carry semi-automatic weapons anymore, or they're not going to carry handgun ammunition anymore. When all the little guys have gone out of business because you spent all your money with these big box stores, there'll be no one left to go to. That's why it's so important to support all local businesses, but especially in the firearms industry. I mean, and that's what I do, right? So I'm not trying to beat my own drum. I'm not trying to do that, but I'm just saying that's a fact of life. Like, if you put all your stock in shopping at Walmart for firearms and ammunition, guess what? They don't have any now because they're cowing down to their people they're donating their money to, and you can follow that money. You know which candidate's going to.
Yeah.
And they're towing the party line.
Well, and I think for Walmart, it's just a good excuse, it's just a good way for them to finish ushering out the firearms and the ammo out of their stores. If you think you're ever going to see those again in there, you never will. I mean, that's how they're getting rid of them, and they're doing it under the guise of, well, we just want to keep everyone safe. We don't want them to get into the hands of rioters and looters. They don't want to sell guns.
Doing their impersonation of Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah, they don't want to sell firearms. They don't want to sell ammo. And instead of coming out and just yanking them out, saying none for you, they're going to take them out in the lieu of public safety.
And this goes on a broader spectrum of disarming the country, right?
Oh, yeah.
I happened to just glance at what was on television when I walked out the door this morning, and they were doing a thing about how people are arming and training and how dangerous that was for America, that people are buying
training.
firearms and they're learning how to use them, and they're trying to tie that into the militia groups and this and that, and it's just people like exercising their constitutional rights. They're law-abiding citizens. They're not breaking any laws. But it just goes along with that, and how the other side uses intimidation and threats to try to drive, to try to take those away. If you look what's happening in France right now, right? They did a cartoon, and there are teachers being beheaded because that's ultimately where the left goes. They say, look, if you don't see it our way, we'll debate you, and if that doesn't work, we will use any means necessary to silence the opposition. And they mean that. That's where they will go, is any means necessary to stop freedom and stop people exercising their rights.
We have a caller looking to join us this morning. Maybe we'll have more than one. Caller, you're up next with the Gun Guys on KLIX.
Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, guys. Sorry, I have the app going on. Anyway, this is thanks to all the lawyers and attorneys out there in the U.S. because they made everybody so liability scared that Walmart's pulling these because they don't want to have the liability of someone going in and looting them. You can still buy them. They just keep them locked up in a chain link cage and back. But it's the beginning of the process of limiting your Second Amendment rights of being able to go in and purchase something whenever and wherever you want. So thank the attorneys in the United States for this process.
Yeah, that's true, and
Yeah.
and also thank the weak backbones of. I mean, Walmart's a multi-billion-dollar company. They could hire security to defend their stores,
Oh yeah.
but they're buying into the thing like people are mad. They should have what they want. Just like a screaming child in the grocery store. You see these parents, their kids are screaming. They're just like, "What do you want? I'll give you anything you want to shut you up." Walmart's doing the same thing with the looters. They're just like, we could hire security to defend our stores, to defend our employees, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to let people take whatever they want, and we're going to cow down to this Antifa mantra that says if we want it, we should have it, and the other side shouldn't get a say in it.
Well, and in the past too, I think we've come out, or even articles have come out, and we've talked about it here. Walmart having ties to the whole, gun safety thing, and
Hillary Clinton has been on the
Yeah.
board for years.
yeah. And so, I mean, this is just one of the many ways we've talked about it. Are they going to come get your guns? Or are they just going to come out and say no more guns, turn them all in, let's destroy them all? Or are they going to go ahead and chisel at your rights over here and a little over here, a little over there, a little over here, a little over? That's the way they do it. They've got some of these big distributors. They're not going to sell them. They're not going to sell ammo, or they're going to tax ammo over here, or they're going to limit this or limit that, or do this over here. It's exactly how they're going to do it. They're just going to eat away at your rights, and not all at once, just a little here, a little there. To pretty soon you don't have anymore.
And they're going to regulate and
Yep.
tax the little guy, and meanwhile giving breaks to the big guys,
Yep.
so they can get the
Yep.
little guys all out of business. Once they get the little guys out of business, then they'll do the same thing to the big guys. But they need these big guys
Yeah.
to do their game plan, right? If they can keep the big guys around and keep them say, hey, just limit this a little bit and we'll leave you alone. We're going to focus on all these little guys, and we're going to make the regulations and
Yeah.
taxes impossible for them to overcome. And we're going to put them out of business. You just play our game, and then you'll have the game all to yourself. They hate small business.
We're gonna have you get rid of these firearms and ammo for us. We're gonna make small businesses shut down. But if you do this for us, we're gonna go ahead and keep you open during the pandemic.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good way to put that.
Yeah.
Hey, we wanted to point out again the number 208-736-0300, and you can also send me a message via the app or instant messenger or text or anything you like, and I can pass that along to the gun guys this morning. It is 8:14. We're at 27. A couple of other quick notes I wanted to mention, and this one, I'm not at all surprised. I saw this morning in something called the Washington Free Beacon. It says Sturm Ruger said it increased production 50% over last year, including a 15% surge in the second and third quarter alone. And even with the increased production, Ruger's gun inventory remains near historic lows. And it says the demand has already led to massive revenue increases for the company. It reported a nearly $100 million jump in sales. And again, this is what I said in the last hour. If I'd known a year ago, I would have sunk some money into the stock. It mentions that along with Smith & Wesson, it's the only publicly traded gun company in the country. But they can't keep up with the demand. That's the shocking part of it. Kicked it up 50%, and still, they're not enough.
Well, that's not surprising. I mean, you got people coming in wanting a firearm, and it's not there, so they get on a list. So as soon as one gets manufactured and sent out, it's theirs. I mean, you got firearms that are almost to a certain extent being spoken for and sold before they even hit the shelves.
Yeah, it's difficult right now, and we're trying to really take really good care of our customers. That's what we really try to do. And man, it's difficult. It's difficult to disappoint people. We do have some cool stuff that has shown up in the last couple of days. We had a SIG XL 365. Those are hard to get. We
Yeah.
got one of those in the counter. We had the SIG. I don't know if you've seen one of these. The SIG 365 SAS.
Oh, with those sights?
It's got a perfectly smooth top, and
Yep.
the sights are kind of integrated into the slide. That's super cool. We got one of those. We got a Glock 43. We got a bunch of these really premium carry guns that have been really hard to get. We've got a few in the counter right now. So if you're looking for something, stop in the store. They all kind of showed up. We got a couple of AR-15s that are really reasonably priced. So there are things out there if you look.
I'll give it to the firearms manufacturers. I mean, they're working hard, and the guns are still out there. I mean, they're just coming in a little slower. At least they're appearing where, ammo is appearing sometimes, but ammo's pretty scarce.
We have right now we got about 60,000 rounds of 9. We've got some
Oh,
380.
still okay.
380. We got some more yesterday. We got
Okay.
380 self-defense stuff. We don't have any bulk range ammo, but we have a bunch of 380 self-defense ammo. We've got 38 special, which has been really hard to get.
Sent someone in for a bunch of 38 special yesterday.
We got 5.56. We've got a bunch of that. So our floor is full. In fact, what's scary is, we're talking about the election, post-election, we've had a few weird little threats of people saying that after the election they're gonna come push us around. I don't see that happening here, and I would welcome them to come on down and try to do that in this area. I'm pretty sure we could round up a group of people to stand against them.
Well, Doug Sugden was here yesterday, and we were talking about the fact that the big cities, no matter what happens, are going to have problems after Election Day.
Oh yeah.
But it's not going to be here, and and I think he's spot on. It's not going to be here locally. It just doesn't happen culturally. It's a much calmer type of place.
Well, these guys were saying they were coming, and I'm like, where are you going to base who's going to open there, say, yeah, go ahead and stay here, or go ahead and camp here, or go ahead and, first of all, you wouldn't have a base of operations. Second of all, man, it wouldn't take but a couple of Facebook posts or phone calls, and you could round up a pretty good group of people to say, come on over, cross the street, see what happens. I just don't see it happening, but they are sure rattling their sabers on the other side.
They're going to base themselves out of the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Amidst all the people who are just commuting through with their campers and decided to stop for the night.
Exactly. Hey, want to know why there's a potluck going on over here?
Exactly.
Hey, we got about a minute before the break. What we'll do is we'll mention, and by the way, Magnum chiming in, XL is a gun I would carry. So of course he'd carry anything, right?
Well, Magnum likes to carry anything, but yeah, no, that XL's a good carry gun. It really is.
Well,
I don't know if that's a testimonial, because he carries a 1911. If you carry a 1911, you're pretty much not picky.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to up his self-esteem so he cares more about his own life. And
one of the gun of the week websites I'm looking at right now says the Dan Wesson 1911 ECP 9mm Luger semi-auto pistol is their choice for the week.
It's not a 1911 if it's 9mm.
Right, that's what I've heard before.
It's a 45.
That firearm design was not based to run on a 9mm cartridge. It doesn't have the right. There's some that run, but a lot of those 9mm 1911s are finicky.
We got to get to a break. It's 8:20. I almost said 9:20. It's Friday, not that we're in any rush, but it's 8:20 and it's 29. The gun guy's joining us this morning. Forrest Anderson from Washington Street Pawn, Todd Eccles from Patriot Defense, and Bill Colley handling the comments and questions as they come in on News Radio 1310 KLIX.